Hey everyone, Jatt here with Jatt's Stats. And CLG, the defending champions of the LCS. And for CLG, it was an off-season where they lost their biggest star as well as their starting mid laner. And that means they had many questions to answer coming into the split. But looking at their record, it's been pretty good. 13-5 was enough for second place and a first-round bye in playoffs. And in the second half of the split, they even handed Immortals their only loss of the spring. So I would say overall, these are quite good. Moving on to team stats, CLG is a tricky team to pin down. They don't excel in the traditional categories you'd expect from a second-place team because they play such a unique style. 0.65 CKPM stands for combined kills per minute, and at 6th place, it shows that CLG doesn't play very bloody games. Their 1.2 to 1 kill-to-death ratio and plus 806 average goal lead at 15 are good stats, but not great, and they only get first Baron in half of their games. Where CLG does excel, though, and this is due to their overall map play and communication, is first dragon percentage and overall dragon control, where they rank first in both of those categories. This is because CLG is almost always ahead in tempo and can take dragon while the other team is trying to catch up. Looking at player stats, I want to first touch on CLG's playstyle. CLG runs what's called a 1-3-1 more than anyone else in the LCS, and they often use Xmithie and Darshan as the split pushers in that setup. Now, the 1-3-1 playstyle influences all of these stats. Stixxay ranks lower in damage per minute as well as percentage of team's damage because CLG doesn't engage in traditional team fights often, where AD carries get off most of their damage. What should be noted for Stixxay is his plus 217 average gold lead at 10, which is partly due to laning and partly due to CLG giving him solo turret gold often in lane swaps. Looking at Xmithie, he ranks first in CS per minute for junglers. This is in large part due to his new style this season, where he is used as a split pusher to create the proper spacing for CLG's 1-3-1. And now we definitely have Darshan, who is the focal point of CLG's playstyle. Even with the diminished team fighting, Darshan ranks second in kills and damage per minute for top laners in the LCS. He also has a large average goal lead at 10, which speaks to how well CLG manipulates the side lanes in lane swaps. Finally, looking at champion pools, we see that Darshan has played mainly carries this split. This will come into play this weekend pretty hugely because tanks were massively prioritized during the quarterfinals. Xmithie has shown good variety on junglers, and it will be interesting to see if he picks up Kindred for his matchup against Team Liquid. Over at Huhi, CLG has the most success when he has been on an assassin or a champion who can influence other lanes heavily. This is core to CLG's strategy, as they are constantly looking for a numbers advantage in their 1-3-1 setup. Finally, let's look at CLG's bottom lane of Stixxay and Aphromoo. While Stixxay's most played champion is Lucian, his most successful champion is Ezreal, who he is undefeated on. Also, Aphromoo shows most of his successes on Bard, and he's talked often about how much work he's put into the champion, and it definitely shows with a 5-1 record. It's crazy to see how committed CLG have been to their playstyle, and it's evident in their stats, and it manifests in their champion selection. The question for them going into the semifinals is whether they'll be able to adjust their style to fit the current meta, or if they'll change it to something completely different. Either way, that'll do it for Jatt Stats, and I'll see you next time.